Alright, hi guys, welcome to this lesson. So I just want to share with you some of my very quick tips in using VLOOKUP. Alright, so VLOOKUP is one of the, I would say, one of the infamous function in Excel. Almost like everyone who uses Excel will want to know how to utilize VLOOKUP, whether you're trying to look up for a certain item, whether certain people they use VLOOKUP to combine data, to merge tables, all sorts of things that you could use VLOOKUP to do. And I would like to show you how you can combine this VLOOKUP and match function to make your life so much easier. So the one thing that I realized that while I'm using this VLOOKUP, I realized when I try to input this column index number, it is kind of a huge headache for me. Okay, so for example, as right now that we can see that we have salesman and region and profit as being separated in column K, L, and M. And I have a bunch of order records right here located from column A towards to column H. So this is one of my best advice that I will give to everyone before you start to do anything. Convert this records into a table object. That's because as when the table object start shifting or start changing, that our functions and formulas will still be able to find the answers that we want. Okay, so in order to create a table, you have to make sure that your cursor is selecting anywhere in within the data. Go to the insert tab and click at the table button. Okay, so so my range is correct, my table has headers, and when I click OK, it's time to name the table. So don't leave the table name as just table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because it's going to be very confusing towards yourself if tomorrow you would open up the file and take a look at the formula that is currently linking to table 4, that you won't be able to understand what is table 4 immediately. It requires some time of you doing some researching. Okay, this is table number 4, but why not make your life easier of renaming the table first before you start doing anything. Okay, so as when you click inside of the table, anywhere within the table, and you'll be able to see there's a design tab will pop up. If you were to click out of the table, you would not be able to see it. Okay, so when I click into the table, when you go to this design tab right on the left hand side, that is where the table name. So I'm going to change the table 1 to the name called order, and when I hit enter, that becomes the name of the table. Okay, so let's back to our VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP is one function where it helps you to look up for data vertically, right? So now I have my order number right here, and I would like to search for the salesman from which region and how much profit they were making from that particular order. So to pick up the data or to extract the information based on order number 2624, we will be using a function called VLOOKUP. So once I run the VLOOKUP, it requires us to input the lookup value, which is our 2624, and comma. Next is going to be table array. So most of the time, I do see a lot of people tend to like to highlight their table from column to column this way. This is going to exhaust Excel from looking up too much of the data, and this is not something that we're looking for. Since you have already created a table and we have named it with a good name called order, why don't we just use the name called order? Now the moment that you type in the order, the name will automatically comes up, and if let's say you do not want to complete the name, you could have just tap or just double click the name that is just out. Okay, comma. So this is where it always drives me crazy, because column index number representing that which is the column that you like to extract out from this order column, from this order table. Now, if let's say we would like to look for the salesman, and as according to the salesman, we always have to start counting from left towards to the right hand side. And if we were to count towards to that sequence, salesman happen to be appears in column number 2. Now that may change in a bit. What if right now I've located the number 2 right here, and then someone start inserting new column in between orders and also salesman? That would change my answer immediately, and it may not be able to link to salesman anymore. So what I would do is I would need a help from a function called match function. Okay, so a match function will locate the location index of the particular lookup value. Right now, I would like to look up for salesman and wanted to know that which column that is being located right now. So before that I actually continue with my VLOOKUP, I start up with my match function first. Okay, so equals to my match function, and I'm looking up for my salesman, and I would like to know that which column that it is located at. So I'm going to click at the salesman and hit comma. The array is actually in the header groups of this order table. Now in order for you to reference to it, so the header group, because the table is named order, so I'll go ahead with the order first. And then with a square bracket, a square parentheses. Now this allows you to deep dive into parts of the table. So of course we would like to look for the headers, and you would see there's a hashtag headers right here, and I will just double click it. Don't forget to close this square parentheses, and I'm gonna hit comma, and of course I would like to look for exact match. And once I hit enter, it says that our salesman is located at position number 2. Now let's do, let's say I just want to test it out and see whether this match function would work. I would right now change my salesman to date. It's supposed to give me number 3, as when I hit enter, it gives me the answer that I want. So this is how that it became a little bit more dynamic. All right, so of course I'm not just wanting to look for the date. I will also want to know where is the region, in which position that it is. Of course same goes to the profit. I do see a lot of people tend to like to drag the formula, but this is not my favorite way of copying the formula. I tend to like to highlight and control R. So control R means that copy the formula right hand side. Okay, so I think I'm ready for my VLOOKUP right now. Okay, so equals to VLOOKUP, my lookup value. My table array is order table, column index number. I no longer want to hard code the number 3, but I would link to the formula, which is match, and then continue with a false, which is I would like to search exact match. All right, so exact match is in a search where they will find exactly the same number to match with 2624. If none found, no match was found, NA will return by VLOOKUP. So once I've done, I'll just hit enter. Right now we have a date which is not being properly formatted, but I think it's okay. I would just want to copy the formula. So what I would do is I'll highlight this region. Okay, Control R, which is copy right. Control D, which is to copy down. Right, so we face one issue, which is now all this ref and NA start showing out. That's because there's one thing that we did not do. We did not turn our order number into a absolute reference. So as when I go to my region, it seems like the lookup value from the VLOOKUP has switches from J to K. So we're gonna go back to the date there and tell them that I need your J to be fixed, okay, the column to be fixed as this column. So from J4, it would not switching from J to K to L to M. In order to do that, we're gonna placing a $sign in front of the J, number 2. When we take a look at this column number 3, 6, and 8, now it will be switching from K column to L column to M column, but of course we would not want it to start shifting down, which is from row number 2 to row number 3, 4, 5. So of course we would then put a $sign right in front of the 2 to fix the number 2, which is row number 2, so it would not shift its row. All right, so I'm going to hit enter. Right now I will then highlight Control R, Control D. Perfect. one more thing, we're gonna change the date into the right formatting. This is a date without formatting, so I'll be highlighting this date and go to the home tab under the general and change it to short date, and there you go. All right, so if let's say I want to make some changes from region, maybe I would like to note salesman instead. So the moment that I hit enter, it fetched me salesman, and so that's how we can turn the whole lookup become slightly more dynamic. I hope you learned something. Okay, so guys, thank you for watching, and I hope that you make some practices, and I'll see you next time.